The Volquest 2-minute drill is brought to you by Food City, official tailgating headquarters of the Vols.
Alongside Eric Kane, I'm Austin Price for a little bit of baseball extra innings as we talk the hiring of Josh Elander. He was officially announced today. Danny White did the duty, and Josh Elander, I thought, crushed an opening press conference for a guy who's never been a head coach before.
We talk about winning the press conference all the time, but I mean, he did, man. He crushed it. I thought he was deliberate in what he said. You can tell he took a lot of time in his opening statements and prepared for the questions that were going to be asked. And I thought he, had good things to say. I thought he did a great job of addressing those people in his past. Both coaches, Dave Van Horn, Jim Schlossnagle, and of course Tony Vitello, and some others as well. His past players, his current players. But I thought he did a good job of making like, hey, I know this is for me today, but this is about the program. This is about what we've built. We're going to continue to be on the hunt and moving on.
His big deal was family. After he had his picture made with Danny White, he had his picture made with his family, his wife and his 3 daughters. Then he brought all of the players up there and all the coaches up there. As he said, La Familia.
Yep.
He's big into that. Gave a specific story about Jordan Beck and his stretch routine that Q taught him when he was at Tennessee. He still uses it right before he plays in the major leagues with the Rockies. Just how the culture lives on here, a culture that Vitello, as he said, will still have his fingerprints on, but now it'll have a different twist with Josh Elander running the show.
Yeah, what do those twists look like? I don't know. Maybe we won't know it until May, June. Maybe it'll be the second conference game of the year. I don't know, but I mean, certainly Josh Elander. I think it's very important to note this, and those that don't follow baseball, Josh Elander is not Tony Vitello. They are 2 different guys. Now, just like Garrett Crochet told you over the weekend, they're the same coin but 2 different sides, right?
Yeah.
Or what's that phrase? I've been messing it up all week.
No, that's right.
Okay. The same coin, 2 different, meaning they have the same goals, they have the same aspirations. They might just go about it a little bit differently. But no, I mean, I think it's pretty evident how much that guy's loved in that locker room by seeing every player show up and spill out of the North Studio here today. And I thought it was kind of neat. And, we'll see exactly kind of what that looks like. Back to family, I mean, we asked twice about what his staff would be. He gave no definitive answer, but it feels like it's going to be, the same guys rolling on. And he said that he has no external thought right now, and we'll see what that kind of looks like. But I think it was important for Josh to keep everything humming along, that they got this program to this point. He wants to continue it on.
Yeah, he had mentioned to me over the weekend that he planned on still coaching third. He validated that in there. He said he still plans on spending a lot of time in the cage. As long as Frank's here, he's going to be running the show with the pitching staff.
Yep.
Did talk about some different things they tried to do in the portal this past season, trying to not just be such a power pitching team, have power, but also have some different stuff from different arm angles. That references the kid from Bearden that they brought in from ETSU. It's a different look. Again, this is going to be a very much Tony's team with Josh's heavy imprint, because Tony's the one that helped construct it along with Josh and Frank. But how the day-to-day goes is all going to be Josh Elander from here on out.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, Brent and I talked about this on the Rocky Top Rewind last night. Tony let his guys coach. Tony would sit back and he would make the lineup card, and he, of course, would do a lot. But Josh ran the offense. Josh ran the base pass. Frank ran the pitching staff. And he just kind of let these guys go about their business. And Josh also ran the recruiting calendar. Now, granted, Tony was the closer. Tony would go in there and he'd go watch Cam Appenzeller and Schoolcraft, who is no longer here, that never made it, go watch him play basketball and all that. I mean, Tony was the heavy hitter and recruiter, but Elander runs that board. And so my question, and not necessarily for right now, because it feels like the class is both 26 that's going to sign in a few weeks and 27. Right now, for the most part, pretty much staying firm. How is Elander in the portal? How is Elander in recruiting for the class of 28 and all that? Because, again, he knows who to look for, how to evaluate. He certainly has played a massive role in bringing all these guys in here. But, again, you don't have that ace in the hole. What's his counter to that? I don't know. The time will tell, but I think it's abundantly clear that everybody involved, both past, present, and future Tennessee baseball, thrilled for Josh Elander.
Well, part of the answer to your question will be, how does Tennessee do in 2026 when the calendar turns at the first of the year? Because if they keep winning, it's going to make it a lot easier to recruit that class of 2028. For now, the biggest question is will or won't the beard return? I would bet that it does. In fact, he says it takes a couple of weeks for it to come in full. We'll see when baseball gets cranked up after the first of the year. He is Eric Kane. I'm Austin Price.
The Volquest 2-minute drill is brought to you by Food City, official tailgating headquarters of the Vols.